Going on, y'all? Back, it's your boy Waz. Go ahead and do this USF Miami recap. Um it's a different perspective, I guess, from this video in particular because I was actually at the game. So I did rewatch some film, but I didn't like rewatch the full game like I would normally do, just because like I saw the game live. I saw more live than I would have ever seen on TV. I personally don't like going to the games, even though I've had season tickets for a few years. I didn't get them this year, but I normally don't like going to the games just because I prefer to be in my comfort of my home watching the game on TV. But um, so like I said, I didn't go back and actually watch the film in totality. I watched like the extended highlights, and all of that or whatever. But we'll just go ahead and get into it, man. So, first things first, Miami wins 50-15. I think my score prediction before the game was 45-20. So close enough, somewhere in line, man. Just started out off top, man. I think that I was a little frustrated in the first half because I knew that we needed to key in on Sean Atkins, which was number 38. Folks was calling him Walmart Restrepo or whatever, but I told y'all in the preview video that Sean Atkins was a problem. And I said we needed to make sure that we contained him. He only had like 100 or something yards on the season so far, but that dude can play football. Like he had over 1,000 yards last year and 7 touchdowns. You don't just do shit like that by chance. So I knew going into the game he needed to key in on him. And what frustrated me with it is schematically what they were doing when they kept putting him in motion. So I want to say this, Daryl Porter was on him pretty much the whole time. I will say straight up, there was some things going on, a little bit of picks that were being set. They finally called it later on in the game. But I saw that shit live, and that boy went to work on Porter. Um, Part of it, which somebody pointed out, was that the linebackers weren't necessarily doing their job, in a sense, because of like how they was like bringing him in motion and stuff like that, and how they was running some of the crosses and stuff like that. Like nobody was getting any type of hands on them. There was no real obstruction, where the linebackers be in a certain position initially. But I think part of the problem is we allowed him to free release pretty much every play. Like anytime he was really getting the ball, it was a free release. It's like, bro, you let that guy have a free release coming off the line like that, knowing that he knows how to run routes, he knows footballs, like he's a good football player. So Porter was getting worked, to say the least. That's the first time all year, but he definitely was getting worked. There was a couple of um pick plays that was set up. But in general, though, like it wasn't there. And somebody was saying that they felt like because there were certain things that weren't being done with the linebacker play, that Porter had to play him a certain way, even though we were in man. And I could understand that you get in there and you see certain stuff not being done or whatever, but it is what it is. So Porter was getting worked. That boy, Richards, I'm done with seeing Richards on my field, bro. Like, y'all probably couldn't see this from watching it on TV, but I was there at the game. When I tell you that boy Richards was getting cooked, yo, the amount of pass interference calls that they should have called on him was crazy. Number one. Two of the ones they didn't throw is because the ball was uncatchable. It's what they said. But my problem with uncatchable balls is Richards, he's trailing, so he's beat and he's grabbing. He doesn't know the ball is uncatchable. On at least three occasions, bro, he threw the ball and they said it was uncatchable, but it's like he holding, bro. He don't know it's uncatchable because he getting cooked. And even on the ones that they didn't throw to him, like just seeing it live at the game, like he's guarding folks and they running routes and they are heating him the fuck up. Like it's bad, bro. Like you can't, and I know UM has to see this because they have all the angles. So I know Chevis, probably is gonna emphasize on this. And I don't know what it looked like in the other games. But last week that boy was getting his ass cooked straight up. It was bad. It was so bad that when they did throw that flag on him, I saw it live and my initial reaction was that's pass interference. Now, folks in the group chat was like, hey, it wasn't PI. They showed it. It was the receiver on him. But that's what happens when you hold all game and you're PI and the refs know you're PI, but they not throwing it, because of that. As soon as they see engagement, they gonna throw the fucking flag and they're gonna be like, nah, fam been holding all game. He been getting his ass cooked all fucking game. So yeah, he was holding. It was pass interference again. That's just your natural reaction to seeing somebody getting cooked all game. So that shit was crazy to me. Um, I'm done with the Wesley project, man. I'm just calling a spade a spade. The bro, you can see it on film, but seeing it live and seeing how bad he is at run fits, I don't know if he swear he loves contacts. I don't know what it is, but like maybe they're sending him on a blitz and he's not doing the right thing and hitting it the right way on the blitz. I don't know, but his run fills are really bad. Like bad enough to the point where I'm like, bro, I'm done with the experiment. Like, and I'm not even trying to be funny, but just being totally real. I don't even know like what's being brought to the game. Like the more and more snaps he's playing, I'm less convinced that he should be out there on the field like that. Now, what I will say is what I saw from Popo in the 15 or 20 snaps that he had, the shit just looked a little different when he was out there. Like on one of the plays in particular, Popo had Byron Brown like dead to rights and he missed the tackle. Cool. But where he's at, how he attacks, how he's filling these gaps, whether if he's making the play or not, he's in the mix. Like that's what I need to see. Like West don't be in the mix enough, bro. And I'm talking about when shit is going in a direction where he needs to do what he needs to do. I'm not seeing it enough. That's just me. So I think I heard he might be like 50-50 for the VTech game. If he's not healthy enough, don't play the kid. Just start Popo. We'll be fine. Um, Deani Hill. When I tell you Deani Hill was clamping the fuck out of USF, bro, and I don't know if y'all can see this on TV, he was clamping them boys. Like shit was locked down. Like I didn't know, I know they said Deani Hill was clamping them boys. So shout out to Deani Hill. And OJ Frederick, man. I don't know what the other games look like. I know he been playing good on TV and stuff like that. What I seen from OJ, and I'm not, this is me being real, right? From what I saw at the USF game, how bad he had them boys clamped the fuck up was crazy. And what he was doing and how he was doing it, how he was cutting them off and things like that, using the sideline well, his positioning, the way he was basically, bro, shit got to the point where this man had USF wide receivers. They stopped running their routes. Like they'll start running a route and then he'll cut this shit off to the point where they just stop running it. And then now it's like, cause you like, damn, even if he was looking at me, my shit clamped. They just stopped running their routes, bro. I was like, yo, this is crazy. So how well I saw him play on Saturday, that's a all-American level player. And I don't mean a freshman All-American. And I don't know how he pans out or nothing like that. But from what I saw on the field, how he was covering them, cutting shit off, clamping it up, like his ability to identify and adjust. And it's just like he was always in the right place. He always turned the right way. He, even if he had to trail a little bit, like he knew exactly how to trail without being in a position that was too compromising. So, yeah, what I saw on Saturday was all American level play and not freshman all American, just regular all American level play. Like, I don't know, man. I thought they was just gassing them before the year, to be honest. But no, that shit real. And that boy OJ is clamps out there. Like, it's once we get Damari Brown back, Damari being in the nickel and then having Porter outside clamping shit like he normally do, and having Frederico on the other side, and then you got DeAndre Hill. That's insane. That is insane. The only thing I don't like about the secondary right now, from what I've seen, just in general, it's not just this game too, is Richards. I'm not really fucking with Richards. And like he gotta get better because what he's putting out there on the field ain't good enough. That shit cool when you play Ball State and USF and shit like that. But we got VTech this week, and we getting into the thick of this ACC schedule. As of right now, if the college football playoff started and Miami made it, like Richards is not somebody that you could give snaps in the CFP right now. You see what I'm saying? Like his level of talent is too much of a drop off. And I'm not even saying he's not talented. It may be a confidence thing. I'm not sure. But as far as what he's showing so far, it's not enough. Um, Kiko started out a little shaky, and then he picked it up, got into his groove. He was out there making hella plays. He did what I expected him to do. He showed up, he played a good game, he made the tackles, he filled how he was supposed to. I think he ended up getting a sack. He was leading them boys. Like he did what I expected him to do. Um, just in general, man, with the first half though, like kind of going back to that, I know started talking about some of the things I was seeing in particular, but the fact that I didn't like how USF they was getting whatever they wanted, basically, up and down the field. Granted, we kept them to all of the field goals and stuff like that, but they was getting up and down the field a little too much for me in the first half. But it is what it is, man. We came out second half, we did what we needed to do, shut the boys out. I will say just being there live and seeing what's going on, like how we started to make the adjustments and the fact of just seeing certain little things we were doing and the adjustments were being made like while we were playing. It wasn't that they went in at halftime and made a bunch of adjustments because they did make some, but in general, like it was, I'm impressed, man. And I know Guidry had got an extension, I think, at off season last year, but like Mario better drop a bag on Guidry, like a real bag, because if he don't, in another year, Memphis, Houston, Tulane, something like that, one of those programs gonna come calling and offer him a head coach job. Like how bro, Guidry just he a wizard out there with it, and it's clear that he it's the chance that you're gonna outcoach Lance Guidry is real slim. That you actually gonna outcoach and out scheme him is real slim. Like that boy know what the fuck he doing out there. So shout out to Guidry. Um, Mish played a great game, man. Certain things you can or can't see on film, but I love what Mish was doing out there. He's absolute in what he's doing every time. And I love it. I love that he knows what to do, where to go, and he just does it. Even on the pick, he fell off of his man, took an educated guess, and he made the interception. But in general, just watching him play, um, it reminds me of when Jaquan Johnson knew what he was doing. They're not the same kind of player, and stuff like that. But just that's the last time I've seen a guy know where to be and know what to do and do it consistently. Right? Last year and the year before last, like Kitchens made a lot of plays, but he gambled a lot. And they weren't always educated gambles. He did a lot of freelancing and shit. Kitchens was the reason that we had hella busted plays over the last 2 years, if I'm being honest. So, it's just refreshing to see somebody not gambling as much. And it's not even about the gambling, but even some of the fills and stuff weren't right. But with this, like Mish is usually in the right spot. He's usually doing exactly what he's supposed to do. And that just reminds me of Jaquan. You know, I thought Jaylen Harris had a good game, man. Um, I had been on him for him being a little lost out there at times and not having some of the right fits, in the run support or whatever. But really didn't see too much that was alarming with him, man. I thought he played a good game. Um, Tyler Barron, he was out there giving them hell. The whole D line, man. Shout out Mesidor. Shout out Simeon Barrow. Elijah Alston, just killing it. You know what I'm saying? Like at one point, one of the we came out and Elijah Alston was actually lined up at linebacker. And I was confused because I'm like, why we got three linebackers on the field right now? But it's because he ended up spying on Byron Brown. But the way it happened, it was just so clean and sleek, bro. Like, and I only saw it once. I don't know how many times we did it for real, but that was cool. But no, the D line was balling. They was holding us pretty much on every fucking play. Like, and I don't mean the regular holding. Yo, I'm watching my boys get tackled to the fucking ground. Like, they just pulling and tugging on everything. And they went, I think they made one holding call the whole game. I don't know what the fuck they was on, but they was not trying to call the holding, which I thought was absolute bullshit. Um, so hopefully, our guys just keep pushing. We keep going, man. You know what I'm saying? We just keep going. They gonna hold us and stuff, but that shit was egregious, for real. So we would have had at least 6 or 7 sacks if they wouldn't have held as much as they did. But you know, it is what it is, man. So what else on defense? Oh yeah, Miles Muong caught the pick. That was cool to see, man. You know, Muong with the interception, he run over to the sideline. He's super hyped, and then he get a turnover chain from one of the fans in the crowd. That was hard, man. I heard that boy be putting in work, man. So it's good to see. When walk-ons get an opportunity to play, if they make a play like that for real, like that was a great thing to see. Like the fans are super excited when that happened and everything. So shout out Miles Muong, man. Um, what else? Defensively, that was kind of pretty much it, man. It wasn't too much more. For real. On offense, obviously, y'all know what happened. Cam Ward, 400 yards, 3 touchdowns. Should have been 4 touchdowns. Jacoby dropped that goddamn ball that turned into an interception. And the craziest thing about the shit was the safety that was on the other side of the field, bro, was like he couldn't make the play. So the safety that was coming across, I think it was the safety, like he was already at a bad angle. So if George had caught it, he was just gonna go this way. He was gonna ride for a touchdown. That was gonna be easy money. I can't believe he dropped that goddamn ball. But yeah, man. Other than that, that was it. As far as I didn't really see anything bad per se on offense. Obviously, we didn't run the ball how we wanted to early on. And in general, like I'm not really sure about the whole situation with the run game and stuff like that, but it is what it is, man. I think we're going to make it a point to try to run that ball more this week and in the earlier part of the game, not to where it make it look like it's balanced, but truly we're about to get into the thick of ACC play. So I think we go do that. Shout out Jordan Lyle on a 91-yard run. That was fire to see that in person. He's been making plays. Obviously, Martinez had the 3 touchdowns, and Cam Ward telling them boys exactly where we was running at and doing it is crazy. He keep doing it. That shit is hilarious to me, man. Shout out Isaiah Horton, man. He had his best game of the year so far. But he's been making plays and stuff. He's been making plays, and I'm happy for the kid, man. Horton was one of those kids that I hope he continues to grow and his role expands. But he was one of them kids that before he was even enrolled here, like when he would come and he's watching them do like he was locked in. That's all I'm gonna say. He was locked in, like, oh nah. put on his cleats and he mimicking what they doing. You know what I'm saying, on the side or whatever. Like he's not actually involved because you can't be involved with the coaches, but he mimicking like the different movements and some of the workouts and stuff they was doing. So glad to see he's finally healthy. He's put in a lot of work. Cam said he expected Horton to play well this year. So far, it started off well for him. And I hope he, continue doing what he doing, man. That boy really was working them boys out there. Like even on some of the stuff where they didn't throw it to him, like he was working the fuck out of USF DBs. Which I told y'all they DBs was cheeks. Them boys is not good. So the fact that they came out and they was doing that single high shit, I was shocked. I was absolutely shocked because I'm like, bro, this is not um what's Alabama's quarterback name? Damn, I just forgot his name that quick. But this is not Jalen Milroe. What are y'all doing? Every time they went into that single high look, I'm like, Cam gonna get whatever he wants. Whatever he wants is there for the taking. Like I couldn't even believe they would play with my boy like that. But it's they bed. They made it. They laid in it. They died in it. It is what it is. X was X, man. Another good game. Making plays out there. Shout out Sam Brown, man. I know everybody been on your ass because you done dropped 5 or 6 balls this year, but he finally made that ain't the only good play he made, but he made a great play at a great time when it was much needed. The throw was crazy from the far hash all the way over to the sideline. Yo, that was a laser he threw and roped it. And when he threw it, because I was in like section 134. So because we were so close, I couldn't see the actual sideline until he got up the field, if that makes sense, because the bench was right there. So once I seen him upfield, I knew he was finna score. But nah, that was a great play that he made, and he showed that he got speed. He really slid on them boys. I think he ended up in the top 10 on speed. I think he hit like 21 miles per hour, but I don't even think he went to top speed that he had to. Like he just did enough, in my opinion, to make sure they wasn't gonna catch him. Like I don't even think he topped out. I don't think that was the fastest that he could run or whatever. But definitely shout out Sam Brown, for sure. Um, and Martinez was effective in the pass game, man. He had 2 catches for 50 yards, so that was key. Arroyo took a hit that was a little scary looking to me, but he seemed to be fine. My boy is healthy this year, and that's pretty much it, man. I do know that, we got some guys that's banged up. Mario said he hopes Bain and Rivers play this week. I know Rivers is supposed to play last week. Marquel Bell had a great game. He had a great game. Man, he played good. Like he really impressed me. He played very well. Shout out Marquel Bell for real. He played a great game because USF had a good D line. That's the best D line we've seen all year. I said that before the game. And even the thing, honestly, man, they was getting in there and generating pressure, I guess, but Cam was just too comfortable. Even on the play that they called back, that was actually my favorite play of the game where they get in there and he slides out. He starts running. He see Jordan Lyle. He pitch it back to him because that was a 3rd and long. Shit went for a first down. They said his knee was down. They called it back. But when it happened, after he made the play, he stood up and folded his arms like, man, tell these boys to stop fucking playing with me. And then I'm like, if they had just gotten up the field, man, and snapped it real quick, we probably would have been able to get away with the play. But if I'm him, that shit's still going on my highlight reel. Because him having the presence of mind to know exactly where Lyle was, because the whole stadium pretty much gasped when he pitched that ball. I don't know if y'all could hear that on TV, but like live when he pitched it, at least it was a gas. And then boom, he caught like that shit was crazy. But yeah, man, a lot of young guys got snaps, man. It was good to see. And for the most part, we got out of there pretty healthy. Mesidor went down, but he got back up. Glad to see he was okay. Um, we got a couple of guys that's banged up. Obviously, George, he hurt his ankle again. His ankle been bothering him or whatever. So They kind of just sat him for the rest of the game. And there's some other guys that are hurt. I'm not gonna speak on it. But there was some of the players that were talking to people in the crowd at the end of the game, and they was telling them, certain things are hurting or whatever. But hopefully we rest up and we get prepared for Virginia Tech, man. Um, as long as the weather and everything permits. But you know, that was pretty much it, man. We shut their run game down completely. They was top 10 in the nation in rushing before coming in, and we shut the shit all the way down, honestly. 62 rushing yards, man. That's it. I told y'all that Brown was gonna get back to probably what he had been doing passing wise, and that's what he did. So, the only thing that really didn't give us problems was the quarterback run, right? We contained that very well. And I think we were preparing to play Virginia Tech with, some of the things we were doing schematically, just knowing that drones is going to run and stuff like that. But yeah, man, that's pretty much it, man. That pretty much covers it. It wasn't too much to cover on the USF side, more so because the game was, really dominated after the second quarter. And, we had miscues and stuff and things we missed on in the first half and things like that. But, just being there, the game was never in question. I don't know if y'all got that feel from, watching it on TV or whatever, but, the amount of excitement and energy that was in the building was great, but it wasn't in question. We was around some USF fans and it was like, oh, this or that or whatever, but the disparity in talent was clear. But where it really showed up at, and Alex Golish covered it, but was in the trenches. Like they couldn't fuck with us on the outside either, but in the trenches, like the way we just wore them down and stuff, it was clear. It was very clear or whatever. But shout out USF, man. I do think they going in the right direction and everything. Um, but I told y'all what this was before the game. Like they can't fuck with us. It is what it is. Um, and that's pretty much it, man. We're gonna get ready to do this VTech. VTech preview. I'm out.